I get this question all the time. How long should you keep food that you've prepped? And it's funny because my husband is that kind of person who's like, you have a hair trigger on when something is past Kim's bye date. And if you're like me, I just don't want to get food poisoning. That's just like my big thing. So I'm very sensitive to sell by date and use by date. Those are like my parameters before I even leave the grocery store. That's the first thing I check. I want to make sure I get it as many days as I can once I bring the food home. So if that sounds like you, keep listening. All right, so I got some tips for you, and it doesn't involve, hey, smell this. Does this smell bad? Or, taste this. Does this taste bad? Like, come on. Every time someone tells you to smell something or taste something, it's going to be bad, right? It's never going to be like, oh my God, this is the best thing ever. They want to know, should I continue eating this? Is really the question that they're asking you. All right, so before I get started, here's one surprising thing that I heard. And I hope I hope this isn't as mind-blowing for you as it was for me. You know those egg whites that you buy in the carton? Yeah. Well, I buy them a lot. Did you know that you're supposed to eat them within 3 days? Yeah. Okay. So if your mind's like, okay, keep listening, because I was like, whoa, 3 days. So I got to get better at that. Now, here's what I know. The 3-day mark is really when you should be eating most foods, right? That's takeout. That's food you've cooked. No more than 3 days should be in your refrigerator. And so when I say 3 days, so if I cook something on Sunday, so like make it a 24-hour clock. So if I cook something on Sunday, it's Sunday night, Monday night. Monday is the 24 hours, Tuesday is 24 hours, Wednesday. By Wednesday, if I haven't eaten it, it goes in the compost or the trash, okay? But if I'm someone who wants to save a little bit money, I can cook and freeze, all right? So first thing first, when I cook something, I want to, put it in the refrigerator. I want to let it cool, and I don't want it to sit out for more than an hour. Let it cool, and then put it in the refrigerator. The other thing, when I freeze, I could do the same thing. I could let it cool. I could let it cool on the counter. I could let it cool in the refrigerator. Then I could put it in the freezer, because when I put it in the freezer and it's still hot, it's the water, the moisture that comes off of it as it freezes, and then it also gets those like frostbite crystals on it. It doesn't look appealing. That's what causes the mushiness when you freeze certain foods, okay? So if I let it cool and put it in a container that is very form-fitting so it doesn't get a lot of air, that is how I can alleviate the mush. And many of us know what the mush is, okay? So let it cool first, then put it in the freezer. Make sure the container is as small as possible so that it doesn't get that much air in it. So that's how you store the food, right? So I want you to think about it. No more than 3 days in the refrigerator, takeout included. If I'm going to freeze something, let it cool down, then put it in the freezer. Make sure that container is as small as possible so I can minimize the air pockets. It could be a container, it could be a Ziploc bag, whatever it is, whatever works best for you. But when you put it in the freezer, do me a favor, make sure you label it and date it, because I don't know about you, but things get lost in my fridge and I'm like, is this chili? Is this stew? What is this, right? So make sure you label and date it, because that way you can make sure you're using the frozen food in your freezer so that it doesn't go into the land of the lost. Then that's a lot of people's freezers. All right, so if this was helpful for you, do me a favor, leave me a comment below and let me know something that you learned. Have a fabulous day.